organizations that are part of the hosting the such event are Hisaar Foundation and Panjwani-Hisaar Water Institute. As far as Hisaar Foundation is concerned, started about 22 years ago. Ms. Simi Kamal, who is a geographer, started on a journey because she was committed to a conflict that happened at that time in terms of disaster. And over a period of time, through the spirit of volunteerism, she has collected a group of people, all professionals, all volunteering their time. And Hisaar Foundation, which started as a single-person journey, has now become a tribe movement. It is committed to addressing the issues of water, food, and livelihood security, reaching the most vulnerable population of the country. As you can see, that over a period of time, we have got gathered a number of people. Some of them are present here. Simi Kamal is here. Another Panjwani-Hisaar is here. Professor Iqbal is here. And largely because of the efforts of these individuals, Hisaar Foundation has reached a number of milestones. In addition to helping about 2 million people across the country and meeting their water and food needs, it has pioneered some of the major initiatives in the water sector. One of them is the Karachi International Water Conference, which started in 2012. This is now has become a marquee event which takes place every 2 years. The next conference will be held in November of 2025. And it is an international level conference. We have also put together a think tank which is called the Think Tank for Rational Use of Water. And as a matter of fact, before the government of Pakistan came out with its water policy in 2018, Hisaar Foundation, through its think tank, took the initiative and published its recommendations for the water policy in 2016. And then, through its own sourcing and funding, it went across the country in terms of advocating that policy. That policy, over a period of time, came to be known as Citizens' Water Policy because it was crafted with the perspective of the interest of the people of Pakistan. And in addition to the think tank, Hisaar Foundation has also established Women's Water Network and Universities for Water Network. So that is briefly a story about Hisaar Foundation. I would now like to tell you about Panjwani-Hisaar Water Institute, which is a public-private partnership initiative. This is a collaboration between NED University in Karachi, Panjwani Charitable Foundation, and Hissar Foundation. And this is almost complete now. We started conceptualizing this in about 2017-18, and we must be complimented for our timing because we started the construction of this facility in the middle of the COVID and the economic crisis, which is 2020. That was because of circumstances. This is a 1,600 million rupee facility, all funding largely raised from public funds. Panjwani Charitable Foundation has given us seed money. The government of Pakistan at that time also sanctioned funds for this. Otherwise, the 1,600 million project we have already raised 1,200 million. The structure is finished, the programs have already started, and this is a very good example of a public-private partnership coming into doing something practical for the country. Third part of my brief talk is on setting the context for today. Recently, since the conflict began between Pakistan and India, there has been a lot of speculation in the market, and oftentimes fact and fictions are overlooked. And there is a high degree of hyperbole, a lot of shouting and shrilling, a lot of excitement, especially in the media on both sides. Unfortunately, the reality is quite different. To talk about what is real and what we should, as Pakistanis, be looking at is the session that has been planned today. And we will focus on the geography of things. We must speak from position of strength, knowing what the reality is. So we must understand the geography of Indus Water Treaty. We must understand the history of it and the legality of it. And oftentimes that gets lost in the media and speculation in the social media. So to talk about that, the number of speakers are going to follow and talk about it. And I just thought I set the context for it. And I thank you for your time.
Climate and weather patterns influence global movements of air and water, and its borderlands and territorial disputes have gone on for a long time. In a book called The Revenge of Geography, Dr. Kaplan explores how geography shapes global politics, history, and cultural identity. Namra Sahaba spoke about the cultural identity also. And the river Indus, it puts a lot of angst into the way that we identify with that river. And it influences us, our psychology in relation to that river to mythic proportions. And so geography is a primary factor in determining certainly our nation's success. And the importance of physical landscape, natural resources, climate and topography are really important in shaping this area. So I will speak of the Indus Waters Treaty only briefly because the next speaker will discuss with you in detail. So this was signed by the military government of the day in 1960. The One Bank provided good offices. There was no water sharing, but actually a division of rivers. This is the only treaty where this has happened. Normally waters are shared. And
the British state of Punjab agreed to develop a canal system for the princely state of Bikaner off the Sutlej River. This diversion of water through a barrage and canal system basically it sent shivers down the spine of the kingdom of Bahawalpur that felt that those diversions would reduce water supplies coming into their area of Bahawalpur. And so, because the governance structure of India at the time, the Government of India Act, recognized water resources and the development of water resources as a state or provincial responsibility, but didn't have a dispute resolution forum. And so because there was no dispute resolution forum, these states had to engage into an agreement called the Tripartite Agreement. It's the first case of a water accord in India. It was in 1990, the Tripartite Agreement between Bahawalpur, the state of Punjab, and the princely state of Bikaner, which, and I should also point this out, operated on the principle of equitable apportionment, which is the international law on how transboundary waters should be shared. So the first transboundary agreement in India actually balanced or used modern international water law as the basis of division. And it was on this that the Bikaner Canal was developed. The other big development happens, of course, in 1932 with the commissioning of the Lloyd Barrage, now the Sakhar Barrage, raising 7 canals, half of the canal network of Sindh. Now, it was after the construction and commissioning of this canal network that the new governance system in India was applied through the Government of India Act 1935. Now, the Government of India Act 1935 did something very important when it came to water resources. It set up a forum for dispute resolution, which was the office of the Governor General. So if any state in British India had a water dispute with one another, they could refer it to the Governor General, who could settle the dispute, or alternatively refer it to an expert commission for some sort of analysis. Now, in the late 1930s, after the construction of the Sakhar Barrage in Sindh, the government of Punjab proposed the development and construction of the Bhakra Dam on the River Jhelum. The Bhakra Dam is a massive piece. It's a 6 million acre-foot storage dam, which, when it was eventually built and finished in the, I think, late 1960s, Jawaharlal Nehru called it a temple to modern India, as it were. Now, it was the proposal of the construction of this canal in the late 1930s that sent shivers down the spine of the lower Riparian Sindh. that therefore sent a request to the Governor General saying that this proposal to build the Bhakra Dam will have an impact on the Lloyd Barrage. The Governor General referred this matter to an expert commission led by a Bengali jurist, Justice Rao. And Justice Rao, his commission report was finalized in 1942, settling the dispute between Punjab and Sindh and this Bhakra Dam construction. Interestingly, the Rao Commission report also relied on equitable apportionment as the legal principle on transboundary water sharing. And as a result of applying equitable apportionment principles, which essentially looks at the needs of both parties and tries to find a middle ground.
In the name of the Almighty, the Lord of all mankind. Dr. Iqbal Chaudhry Sahib. I remember when I was a student in Washington, in America, and I was studying in the Georgetown University School of Foreign Service. I went on a visit to California, and I visited Hollywood. And because I'm a movie buff also, so I said, what's that? I asked, who is the highest paid person there? He said, the idea man. At that time, we were mostly men. So, I think you are a good idea man, but you're also a man of action. I must commend you. COMSTECH is doing a great job bringing people together, and the best minds on this issue of Indus Waters Treaty are sitting in this auditorium today. And today we have had excellent presentations. Ali Taqir Sheikh Saab, my good friend Ikram Saigal Saab, he's also a man of crisis. And the last time he was sent on a special mission by Mian Saab to United Arab Emirates, just before we had the nuclear tests. And that was in May 1998. And he came back with a very positive message.